Hello, this is Elwood EQ, and I'm going to start off this. This is going to be an episode with Gemsnoot, the character that I kind of started a while back. There he is there, and let me start my time. There we go. Still trying to keep my episodes to about 30 minutes long, so they're not too long. First off, I'd like to say welcome back, Tams. Tea with Tams is another website YouTube channel that does. She does Minecraft type stuff. I think she sings. She has a very pleasant voice, and she's sort of she's got her hands in a lot of cookie jars, kind of a thing, right? She has a very pleasant personality, and she also plays EverQuest. And when she does EverQuest videos, I think she does a good job. And she partners with a guy that goes by the handle of Pounce, who does well too, and everything. It seems to me that they're very kind of theater type people. My daughter's actually really into theater, so I think there's a little connection there, I guess. I myself, I'm not a huge theater type person, but I used to be a musician, so there's that too. So there's a creative kind of connection, maybe a little bit. I'm a bit older though, so anyway, so welcome back, Tams. Tea with Tams, good channel. Check her out. She currently, to kind of get her feet back going on EverQuest, I think she, it seemed to be like a silver account that she just kind of either opened up or maybe it's her regular account, whatever. But because I think she has to activate it, I think. Anyway, but she started Necro, right? And Necro is what I've been playing, as my main for about 3 or 4 years. So it's it's interest of mine. A few other people that are streaming, or not streaming, but are doing YouTubes. And sometimes I think Hammock J. I think he streams on Hammock J streams, I believe. But I don't anymore. I'm not going to stream. I mean, this is what I have to do. Anyway, so, but he does EQ Live. Zelen does EQ Live, and 12 Strings does EQ Live. 12 Strings has a multitude of, I think he has just about every class in the game, seems like, and he knows a good amount about every class. He's a very well-rounded knowledge base himself. He's humble, and he doesn't claim to know everything. I think 2 classes he knows the most about. I'm not speaking for him. I'm just kind of gathering what I've gathered is, I would say, Shaman and Cleric. Cleric from way back in the day. I think he used to main a Cleric or something. So he's had to kind of acclimate to the new school Cleric stuff, but he seems to be very knowledgeable in how, and picks up very quickly in how things interact and work with that. So there's that. Anyway, so here I am, and what I would like to start off, though, besides the welcome back Tams thing and all that stuff, is the 16-bit servers and clients arriving soon. This was put up, what's the date on here? Last Wednesday. As you can see by my thing up here, it's November 8th. Jake is my son. He's at work right now. This is why I do my videos. I record them in the morning because he's at work. So Wednesday was the 3rd, so they put it up the 3rd. Anyway, so they are finally doing 16-bit servers and clients, right? They have to match up for those for that to work as intended. And we have some new minimum and optimal specs. None of them are anything new for anybody that's been gaming at all over the last 15 years, but they are finally doing the 16-bit thing, right? And what I've gathered is what I suspect. I'm not going to read all this for you. You can read this and and just go to the EQ website or open your launcher if you play EverQuest, and you'll see it's not hard to find. I'm not even going to put a link in. I mean, just put the title in Google and you'll find it. Improving and innovating your favorite game through modernization initiatives. In the coming years, planning on more big projects. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. So this is going to be an improvement though for the resources the servers and the clients can use for memory for the game, and it's going to make things run smoother than what we're used to it running. It's a lot of people have had complaints or complain about how they don't understand how an old game like this can still run so rough. Part of it is optimization. Is just inherited kind of spaghetti type code that with a game this old and this revolutionary was it. It's just a massive game, right? They've had to go through a lot of growing pains, so it's kind of what it is a little bit, but it's never been very well optimized for graphics cards and modern computer hardware. Currently it relies a lot on the CPU, not the GPU. I can run this game very decently without a graphics card at all for what I do, and it runs fine. Since my current computer is a laptop, it'll run a little bit warm. Not even really hot, but it runs warmer than what I'm comfortable with. And if you know anything about laptops and heat, the one thing you want to try to be mindful of is how hot your laptop is getting if you want it to last more than a couple years. So, sorry for my sniffing thing. I'm going to have a drink of water here. I live in the middle of the United States. I'm practically right smack dab in the middle in the state of Nebraska, and it's a very dry kind of air. I'm not originally from this state, but we moved here some time ago, so I don't mind letting that be common knowledge. So that's there we go. So yeah, this is a good thing, and I'm going to try to I'm going to make another pledge. I think my last Gemsnoot episode was a little negative. It wasn't super bad. It could have been worse. But I tend to be critical and negative sometimes, based on sometimes I can be a little moody. I am going to try to keep things more upbeat and try to use the great examples that Hammock J and Tea with Tams. Tams is they give good examples on how to interact with an audience, even though you're in a room by yourself just recording something. And how to stay focused with your chatter in the case of Hammock J. But Tams is very entertaining. She's they're just a couple of good, nice kind of just casual kind of YouTubers that I think do a good job. People should check their channels out. So with that said, I'm just going to close this. And yeah, it's my Linux desktop there. I think it looks kind of snazzy. And here we are. So for anybody that doesn't know, I play in Linux. Okay, this is a level 7 Necromancer I started. I have not bought any spells or anything yet. Now, I've already said in this series what the meaning of, what the goals of it is and things like that, and I still mean that. But for right now, I want to point out the differences that my character has between this and somebody that might be just trying things out again on silver before they want to commit to going gold or all access. The mount I have is from the marketplace because but if you are a returning player, if you do /claim, you will have, where is it? There we go. Bracelet of the Severed Hand, 900 some odd. This is a free mount that you'll get. Okay? It's a free mount. It's got some stats that are actually comparable. It's the same stats that this has. The reason I didn't use this, I probably should have, but I did. I already had this mount on this account anyway, so I prefer the look of this mount compared to the hand. I don't like the hand. It looks weird to me. I don't like how it I don't know. I'm just gonna claim this so you can see what it looks like. How about that? It's a good idea, isn't it? I think it is. So you'll have a bunch of stuff in your claims you can try out. Another thing that I did on this that is the Gift of Lost Legacies. With that, you'll get a few starter gear thingies, and you'll also get. Didn't I use this? Maybe I didn't. I'm going to claim this too. Yeah, I would definitely suggest that if you are a returning player to get that. First off, let's use the keyring, and we'll put this hand mount in here. Put it right on the keyring. Get there by your tab here. Anyway, and now because okay, I'll show you the mount. Hit the mount here, and it's just a mount that I do not like. It just feels and looks weird. It's a hand with things on it, and you can move, and it's nice. If you don't have any other mount source, it's a great mount to have, especially for a level 1, a beginning character, because it gives stats. It'll give this buff here, a Mount Blessing buff. And as you can tell, it looks, it gives you, if you're starting a character like this level, with an extra 250 maximum health and mana, the saves, the armor class, it really helps out a new character a lot. Plus the fact that you're on a mount and you're medding all the time, if you're doing a caster like I am, is a huge, huge difference. I don't like it though. I like the looks of this, but that's the biggest difference. You'll be able to have the same benefits though if you do that claim, if you're a returning player, and odds are you're a returning player. There are hardly any new people coming to this game. I'd be surprised if there are. Anybody starting out, it's just a returning player, which is good. That's fine. Nostalgia is great. So there's that. Now I'm going to show you the Gift of Lost Legacies. Okay. It's the old bag there. This Gift of Lost Legacies has Defiant Armor packages, 2 of them, 3 of them actually. Scabbard of Hope is a Defiant weapon. It has a Potion of Adventure, 10 dose Potion Adventure that gives you a 50% experience boost for a half hour, and a Potion of Speed, which increases your movement, and a clicky Book of Knowledge port to the plane, directly to the plane of knowledge. Okay. You can. So these things are really awesome to have. All of them, really. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna keep them all and ditch the bag because the bag's kind of meh. Now these Defiant, I'm going to put this up here too. these Defiant packages will scale depending on your level. And the deal is it will scale to the highest level of the armor, I believe. So, and the lowest level of Defiant is for level 10. So if I click this now, it would give me crude armor, right? Once you get up to, and then the higher your level, if you click on this, it'll give you Defiant armor to, you know, something, the Defiant armor is for the 20s or 40s or whatever. It'll do that. So if you're getting short on Defiant armor and you're really feeling a pinch with your mana or a weapon, maybe if you're a class that uses a melee weapon or whatever like that, this Gift of Lost Legacies, Satchel of Legacies Lost, whatever, it's in the claims, it's Gift of Lost Legacies, is a great thing to do. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to use this for my bank. So I'm going to put the empty bag over here, and that's what I'm going to do with that. Let's get my stuff the way I like it. Okay, so the difference is, you know, my mount looks different, but you could, a free player or a silver player ought to be able to get the same thing. I think the silver players, if you're a returning player, will be able to use the claims. You may not be able to get as much, not a lot of the different, but I do believe you'll be able to get that. If not, you might have to go gold or all access to be able to get those benefits there for like at least 1 month, but you know, there's that. Those two things are great for new characters. This right here, but this mount is different. And also, I buy bags. I spoiled this guy by getting these tailored these bags here. They're not super expensive in the bazaar, but for a new person returning with basically nothing starting out, might be pricey in the bazaar depending on how much plat was left on your account when you last time you played. Depending on how long ago it was, you may not have very much compared to what it takes nowadays to buy stuff in the bazaar. You can also find these in the bazaar. These, I like to have one of these on each character because when you loot stuff, anything trade skill will automatically go into this bag, and then the other bags will have anything. But when, speaking of loot, another you've lost your tracking target. Anyway, another thing, a new system for looting. Advanced loot /ADVLOOT. You'll see the command in my different window here, I think. Well, you saw me just type it, so just go back to when I typed it. Okay, this advanced loot window is a very convenient thing when you're looting, and you have a edit filter. If you edit the filter, and I'm just going to look for something cloth. Okay, now these things right here are the settings that will be static settings for this loot system. If you're bebopping around doing your leveling thing and stuff like that, and you're looting stuff and you find yourself Tams, I'm sorry, I'm going to use an example of the last EQ video you did. You were in Kern's tower, and you were like, you found a bunch of skeletons that hadn't been looted, and they were, you know, it was okay to loot them. They just left the, you know, they obviously didn't care, right? So you were just looting them, and you kept looting stuff and manually looting it, and it was lore, so you'd have to delete one, and then you'd let it loot, and then you'd delete that, and you were kind of manually doing that stuff. These are the settings, so it prevents you from not having to do that. Okay. This right here is a setting is always need, which means if you're in a group, most people nowadays will have this always set. On almost everything they'll put always need, unless they really don't want it. It's either always need or never for most people's settings. If you are a need before greed type person, you can set some stuff to greed, like if you're in groups and you want to be a little bit more diplomatic and or just, you know, and you're like, you know what, I got plenty of money, I don't need the gems from this from these kills, I'll just put those on greed, and if I happen to get them, fine. But if people are needing them and they want, because they need money really bad, then I don't care, you know, kind of a thing, right? Need before greed, and then there's never. These are the tiers of things. So and if everybody is needing, then they will roll. There will be a roll, and then somebody will win it. And if it is no drop, then the window will come up. Do you want to loot this? And you'll have to click yes. If it's lore and the window comes up and you click yes and it won't give it to you, then that's it, and you don't need it. Lore items that are kind of vendor items that are lore, you're going to have to manually mess with it still, but this is a nice time saver. Once I got cloth, regular cloth like this hat, you know, I put it as never because I already got it on this guy. It's practically nothing. Well, it kind of is, but as you can see right now, so far I'm doing okay with money to get spells, and plus I have stuff in the bags just from what I've been looting that ought to get me decent money. So I always put need on. If it's Defiant gear, no matter what it is, what level it is, I always need it. And as you're leveling up through 65, I think actually technically it's through 70, you're going to find Defiant gear, and it's always good to save it. It's decent pet gear up to a certain point, but then again, that's another subject I'd like to point out for new people. This is sort of a reboot of this series. I'm going to put it as episode 4, but I'll give it a fancy title that's going to let everybody know that I'm rededicating myself to this, because I don't care about Thornblade or Fiona V. Sorry, the special rule servers. I'm just used to my server. This is the Kazakh Thule server, CT server. So this has been my home since I started the game, and it's just the way it is. I'm used to the people that have played on here. Some people, you know, I bump into people. It's another nostalgic thing, right? I bump into people I knew from way back in the day. There's a guy that played a ranger way back in the day. His character name I'm not going to say out of privacy. But I knew him way back when. I was like, hey man, is this you? Do you remember this? Are you from that? You know, kind of little testing, see if it was really the same guy. Asked them, you know, identity kind of question, confirm your identity type stuff. And it was the same guy. He was just kind of getting in it, got an itch to play for a little bit, and it was fun chatting with him and stuff. If you jump servers all the time, you're not going to get that. And so I like that. Anyway, so yeah, I got a little too energetic there. Sorry, but we got about 7 minutes left or so. What was I doing? Okay, did the advanced loot stuff? Oh crap! Lost my place. This is age. I'm in my 50s, and I have to keep my focus. What was I talking about? This is the only good thing about streaming. If you actually had people watching your stream, you could ask the chat, hey, what was I saying? I'm by myself now, I can't do that. So, okay, advanced loot. Did that. Differences. I got bags. You have to get your bags the hard way. As long as you use that hand mount, weight won't mean anything. Weight, when you're first starting out, does mean you can get encumbered until you get your stats. Your stats start going up to the point where you really don't need to care about it being encumbered, because there's just no way. Because the coin doesn't weigh anything, and once you get enough weight reducing bags, these right here are 80% reduction, which is enough for me to carry a lot, and I'm still underweight even with the stock strength. That's, you know, and anyway, so it's fine. Incidentally, a little tidbit is that if you're on a mount and you know that as far as your movement rate, it's not going to be affected, no matter how encumbered you are, that's fine. but it will affect your armor class, and you'll get hit more often, regardless if you're not moving slower or anything. You're on the mount, so. I guess I covered the servers and stuff, and I'm rededicating myself. I'm going to try to stay positive and entertaining here. I'm not going to crab about glitches or other, or AFK botting or stuff like that, unless I happen to run across it. Not including. I'm going to try to be good. Okay. I'm going to try to not be the crotchety old man, right? And anybody that's watching these episodes, if you think I've gotten a little too negative, let me know if I'm getting off mark in comments. I will take your constructive criticism to heart, and I will try to do better. What else here? I guess we could just kill a few things. We don't have that much time left for this episode. It's like 5 minutes, so. These mounts are fast. It feels like they're fast too, because I am on a mount, or I'm short. Look at that backpack, boom. Now these were like super coveted. It's a nice backpack for my bank to carry stuff in. Isn't that awesome? Can dig it, can dig it. We can dig it. Oh. Okay, I think I know what I was thinking now. I am not using a pet. I'm using my tank merc. Okay, I think I suggested in comments for Tams that if she wanted a smooth leveling experience on a new character, these tank mercs will basically almost power level you up through till about level 50. They can take a large number of mobs on, and this is the J1 merc, which are better than the A series of mercs. When you're silver, you can still get, I think you can still get the J1 as long as you're at least silver. Where's this J2? How you find out is you look at info. Yeah, J1, right? Silver may still be stuck in the A's. I pay for my account, old school, because I play the game. I like it. I don't like any restrictions. I've covered this before. It's just how I do. It's how I roll. $15 a month. It's okay for me. I don't mind spending $15 a month for a game if I play it. So I play this game just every day. I play it every day for about, I would say, I don't play it in huge stretches at times, but I play usually a couple times a day, right? So I'll play for about an hour, hour and a half, a couple times a day. So I, play about 3 hours a day. And for me, that's reasonable. I can hang with that. There was a short time where I was having, back in the day, even though I didn't raid, I still played a lot because I knew a lot of raiders, especially in my guild, that they would raid, and I felt like, I don't know, a little competitive maybe, and I wanted to try to keep up. Anyway, as you can tell, this is interesting. I don't know why the merc's not coming over here, but the cobalt's not messing, not. And I have nothing here, so I'm going to loot this, and it's going to go automatically right there. Awesome. So yeah, so I'm all access, whatever. I could play EverQuest 2, and I have played EverQuest 2 before. I play about 3 hours a day, and that's my jam. Back in the day, when now I remember, I was trying to keep up with Raiders, and I was playing too much, 6 to 8 hours a day. I had a problem. To me, that's a problem. If you're approaching work hours, as far as the number of hours you're playing this game, it's too much for a reasonable adult that has responsibilities. All things being equal. Now, if there's extenuating circumstances, right? Let's say, if you are on disability and you have a situation that's a little bit more like that, or maybe you're retired. That's to each his own. Play whatever you feel is appropriate, but for parents have responsibilities with kids or grandchildren, and you're married, or maybe you have family living in your with your house, or you just have friends you want to make sure you see on some kind of regular basis. You shouldn't be playing a game for 8 hours a day or more. That's my opinion. That is not meant to be negative, and it's not meant to be it's probably a little bit opinionated, but hey, I have an opinion. I am going to share it about the game. I am not going to share political views. I'm not going to share any kind of religious views. Other than I will say this, because I'm not shy about it, even though I play Necros. My personal faith is Christian, born again Christian, actually. And that's all I'm going to say. I want to keep this as the game, but that is me. This is a game. It's a character. I keep that. It's just the game. Okay. There's a lot of people that might think different, and might even be surprised that I have religious views like that, and I'm still okay with playing a game like this, especially the character class that I play. But that's my thing. I don't know. I'm not gonna elaborate on that. I could, but I'm not gonna put it on the internet. Okay, so there you go. And that's it. What do we got here? Ooh, 2 minutes over, 2.5 minutes over. Put in my clock. I'm going to head over this way. Wow, what's that up there? Oh, it's a small mountain lion. Looked kind of funky. Try to keep this character is not going to be gilded. I like to log out over here near the Druid Ring. I didn't make much progress. I'm going to just play this character when I play this series, and I'm going to be able to add up the time to see how many actual hours it takes to level a character, so some perspective and reality can be also seen on how much time a game like this can take. Maybe closer to the way it used to take, maybe not. As soon as you log into this game, you're not going to be going full bore, constant pulling every time. If you do that, I'm sure you can level a lot faster, but this is like just real regular playing, how long it takes. Alright, I think that's about it. Again, welcome back, Tams. Shout out to the other EverQuest Live YouTubers that I have been watching. There's one or two others that I've explored a little bit too that I forget the names of the channels, and I'm sorry. Maybe in a future episode I'll give you guys little props too. But there's one or two that I think are either on my level or kind of doing some cool stuff that I think is cool. That just kind of check it out, man. EverQuest Live might be coming back a little bit slowly, but at least it's getting a little bit more visibility. YouTube used to have practically, if you did look for EverQuest, all you'd find is like P99 stuff. Now you're finding a few EQ live streamers now. That is kind of refreshing. Get a little update to what's going on. So I'm going to camp out here, and this is Elwood EQ signing out.